Okay, so welcome to the reentry room. This is going to be such a fun episode. I'm Alexa Starks. This is all about where we talk about working motherhood and how we can rewrite it to be better and actually help more working moms getting them the tools and the resources that they need. And today I have with me our very special guest, Kayla McGuire. We were just talking about some amazing things that you've been doing. Kayla, welcome to the show. I'm so happy to have you. And I would love if you just share a little bit more about what you do, because it's a lot. It's a lot of things.
Yes. Thank you, Alexa. I'm so excited to be here. Again, my name is Kayla, and I was just telling Alexa before we got started, I have two different businesses. The first is my consulting company, which I have been operating for the last 6 years, and I help founders build and scale their businesses through project management best practices. And what I kind of learned through this work with helping founders and project management, building teams, leadership, is that a lot of the same skills that I use with founders to help them build and lead their teams are things that I learned in motherhood, things that we can use in motherhood, things that we can also leverage in the workplace as well. So from that sort of aha moment, I decided to launch a company called Mommers, which is my passion project. It's a nickname my daughter has for me, which kind of represents the transition.
That's so cute.
Transformation we have as mothers. But Mommers is specifically designed for mothers who are transitioning back to the workplace. And I wanted to create an offering that was really holistic and not just focused on nutrition or movement or leadership, but sort of like mold them all together, because we're going through a huge identity shift in motherhood, and we're also going through huge shifts in our bodies. And I want to see more women kind of tap into how they can do that and leverage that for strength and power, instead of sort of fall into this place that I see so often. There's like this cultural script that once you become a mother, you're tired, exhausted. It's going to be years before you get back to baseline. I want to just tackle that and help form a new narrative, which I know you're doing as well.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we need more women, more of us helping get these resources out there to everyone, because there's truly someone for everybody, right? And so the more women that we can get our tools and resources in front of, the better. I mean, I had such a crappy return to work experience both times, and that was why I left my very exciting, once passionate about corporate career and started my business to help other moms. What's your, I don't want to call it villain story, but origin story? Like, do you have something that you're like, I had to fix the system and make it better?
You know, I have an origin story. Yes. I think stories are so interesting too, because they're so layered and complex. We're like onions, and there are different sort of elements to the origin story. But I definitely had the experience of kind of being in corporate. I got pregnant with my daughter. I thought I can do everything on my own. Right. And, this is 11, 12 years ago. So I had a different level of energy and understanding of life. And so I did. I went back to work after 3 weeks. And
wait,
being
you said
a project,
3 weeks?
3 weeks I went back to work. 3 weeks I went back to work full time. And I was working in a tech startup. So I felt fine, right? Like, I'm fine. I mean, I'm tired. You're supposed to be tired. It catches up with you.
Yeah.
It catches up with you.
I wasn't fine at 3 weeks. I was dead at 3 weeks. I was a zombie at 3 weeks. I was not functional as a human being.
So, you know what's interesting? I went through doula training earlier this year, birth doula training, and I can't remember the exact statistic. I wish that I could, but it's alarming how many women go back to work before 4 weeks postpartum.
Wow.
Like, it's an alarming statistic. I wish I had it. I was extremely shocked. There are a lot of women who do, out of necessity. They don't have access to things like leave, paid leave. They have to go back to work. But In my case, because I worked for a startup, it was a small company. FMLA didn't apply. There are no policies there. A lot of women are in similar situations. So I went back to work after 3 weeks, and as a project manager, I was getting it done, right? Like I was doing all the things, checking off all the boxes, really high functioning. That's just how I am as a person, and part of the reason why I do well with what I do, helping founders build and scale. But eventually it caught up with my body, like physically.
Yeah.
And that's when it kind of gets scary. You think for women who have been healthy otherwise, our bodies are going through major transformations. I know that seems obvious. It sounds obvious, but
It's
entire
much more than we think.
perinatal, yeah, and the entire perinatal period is significant. So prenatal, of course, your birth experience, and then postpartum, your body's changing. It's still changing, and it's adapting, and it has different needs. And I also, you mentioned prenatal yoga. I also went to prenatal yoga, and that equipped me with so many tools for my mindset, but also for my body that I have actually been leveraging ever since. And like I mentioned, I'm almost finished with my yoga teacher training. I'll be a registered yoga teacher, and I'm excited to share that with moms as well. But
is it prenatal yoga or just yoga in general? Or is there a difference in certifications?
There is, yes. So I'm getting you always have to get your foundational 200-hour yoga teacher training. So that's what I'm getting. And then on top of that, I'll get a 100-hour prenatal certification next year.
Interesting. Okay. And then you said you also did doula training. Is that right?
I did birth doula training.
So when do you have time to teach founders and start another business that helps moms and do yoga and be a doula? I thought we just had 24 hours in the day. Am I missing something? Do you have a time warp key that I missed?
So this is the part, I'm not going to say I have a secret or anything because I don't, but this is part of sort of what I want to share with mothers. Not like you can do everything and do everything all at once and all at the same time. I do have a high capacity, and I do a lot because that's part of my personality. But there are other things that we can do, which are the same things I teach founders on how to leverage our time, on how to stack habits, on how to prioritize. And these are skills that directly translate to motherhood and the return to work transition when we have so many things to do and not enough time. So that's a big part of what I want to share, is how we can set up our lives in this manner.
I love that. All right, then let's get into it. So our guest interviews are either one of two topics, the confession share or a what she knows. And so Kayla, sounds like we're going with the what she knows, the biggest lesson that you can share about motherhood or working motherhood. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, what you got for us?
Yeah, the biggest lesson that I have learned through my own experience, and I see it in so many mothers, is that motherhood is leadership. Motherhood is leadership. We are building leadership skills in motherhood when we're paying attention and when we continue to work on ourselves and our mindset, specifically self-awareness. And these are skills that we know in the workplace are very, very highly valued and will be continue to be very highly valued as AI comes in and does more of the task sort of things. This emotional intelligence, this leadership development, understanding ourselves and others, these are all things we know as mothers that we're doing and that we learn. But so often we've been taught, there's again that sort of script in society, in our culture, that these are less valued, that moms maybe shouldn't take up as much space. We've got the kids, we don't want to be disruptive. We don't want to, all of these things. And along with that, so often we revert ourselves as mothers. We start to think that we're less than, or that these are not skill. These aren't really skills. I'm just being a mom, right? Yeah. But they're leadership skills. They're leadership skills, and it's important that we tap into them and build them.
I agree. I mean, you can look up you could just Google top leadership skills, and Forbes and Fast Company and New York Times, Wall Street Journal, they've all got, the emotional intelligence, resilience, perseverance, all these skills that, negotiation. I negotiate with my toddler on a daily basis.
Yes.
And it is wild. You're right that as moms, we almost also rationalize them less. We're like, oh, I'm just a mom. It's just like what I do every day. It's not a leadership skill, just me being a mom. And society equally is like, it's just part of like motherhood. But yet they prop them up as some of the top leadership skills that you need to have to be an effective leader. I mean, there's millions of articles about that as effective leaders. So how do we fix the system, or how do we get more women, more moms, more men, more companies to recognize that motherhood is such a critical leadership incubator?
Mm-hmm. I think it's about connecting the dots. I think we have to show it. We have to connect the dots. So I like to think about those areas that you just named that are highly important in emotional intelligence as well. So like communication, navigating conflict, negotiation, even going further back into emotional intelligence, self-awareness, understanding ourselves and our own value system, which is how we then develop authenticity. So what do all sort of like associating those terms with motherhood and teaching mothers that that's what they're doing, those words and those concepts are what they are doing, and this is how they tie directly into their work as leaders. So just connecting those dots and helping moms and companies see how this all works together, what that landscape looks like, and that we can come out stronger instead of depleted, showing that.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I know I've been asked that question before, and I was like, it starts by just normalizing the conversation that motherhood is leadership. And the more people like you and I, the more we can talk about it and bring companies and especially men who don't go through a lot of what our postpartum experience is, the more we can normalize it and have more conversations about it, the more we just bring it to the forefront of realizing that, yeah, this is leadership every day. I'm a leader every day.
Right. Yeah. And you know, something else that I would love to touch on, this is something I learned in my doula training, which was again sort of alarming, and really leads into this and leads into the work that I do. 1 out of 4 women experience extremely traumatic experiences in their birth.
Yeah.
1 out of 4 women. And not a lot of those women seek appropriate help afterwards because, again, it's normalized.
Right.
It's
Birth
normalized.
is birth. It's always traumatic. There's always hardness.
Right.
It's challenging.
Right. You've had babies. I've had a baby. We know that you never forget that day. Like it, you know, if you ask a woman who's 60, 70, like she'll be able to tell you exactly everything that happened on that day. So it's extremely important that we help women understand that the birth experience isn't just I'm going to the hospital and having a baby and it's a one and done and I'm over. This is something that's going to be a core memory for you and you're going to remember for the rest of your life. So how can we set you up for success with being knowledgeable about, we never know exactly how it's going to go, but being knowledgeable about how this works and what could happen, and then proper support afterwards. Because women who are not receiving support for these traumatic experiences, that's going to spill over into home life, that's going to spill over into work life, and of course that's going to affect them personally. So this all weaves together. To make stronger leaders, we have to start at the beginning and really take care of these women from the onset.
I love that. And I think before I get into some more tactical next steps that a mom can do, I almost feel like it's just part of society, or maybe America, or maybe the Scandinavian countries do it better, but part of society just downplays how truly impactful birth and motherhood is in shaping the entire rest of your life and who you are, right? You have this massive transformation in your identity and now humans to take care of, but you are fundamentally a different person based on this like pivotal moment of your life where you have a baby. And I feel like we downplay it. Like, it's just, in my mind, it should be this bigger thing, this bigger deal that we're like, okay, you're pregnant, having a baby. How can we help you prepare for everything that comes after it? Right? Because it's the rest of your life.
Everything is different. Physically, we're different. Emotionally, we're different. Our responsibilities have changed. Like the way we look at the world is going to be completely different. Our perspective has changed. And our movement levels, you know, just like physically, nutritionally, everything is different. And so often it's just, oh yeah, I'm going to have the baby in the hospital and then just move on with life.
Yeah. But it's not.
It's not, and it's okay. Like, that doesn't mean that we're weak. It doesn't mean that we're weak. It means we're wise.
I love it. Okay, so what's something tactical a new or expecting mom or new mom or postpartum, what can she do to either help recognize these leadership skills? So let's make it really tangible, because you and I both help moms with that transition back to work. So what's something a mom can do tactically, very in the moment, to either really take advantage of those leadership skills that she's now developed, but maybe not have that much awareness of yet? What can she do? What's like a good first step or a couple steps?
A good first step is always going to be allowing yourself some time to sit and process and write down how you feel, what you feel, why you're feeling it, and really digging into whatever emotion that you're having, because you're going to have a lot as a new mom. And allowing yourself some time, it's just a thought download, really. You're just downloading your thoughts, but giving them a little more consideration. So I have kind of like a grid that I use to help people through this. Downloading your thought and then really just digging deeper into it. And then what's the action that you want to take based on that thought? And what does that tell you about who you are and your leadership skills? So digging into it, we could call it it's elements of the 5 whys, if we know from business, things of that nature. There's also a tool called Name It to Tame It that I use in my emotional intelligence workshops. And the idea is simply that this is scientifically proven. When you name your feeling, it actually reduces the intensity of that feeling if it's a hard feeling. So saying, I feel angry, identifying your anger, I feel angry, and then deciding what you want to do with that, and then going even deeper. What does that tell me about me as a person and what I value and my leadership style, and how can I kind of leverage that? Now, you wouldn't do that all in one sitting, but over time, you can start to identify patterns about yourself and how you want to improve and where you want to build skills that you're lacking in.
I love that. Self-awareness is always such a good first step. I think we don't appreciate it enough for how important it really is. It's a good foundation.
It's where it all starts.
Yeah. Well,
it's hard.
I love it. Kayla, where can our listeners find you online?
Yes, so a couple of different places. You can find me on LinkedIn, Kayla McGuire. I am always on LinkedIn and available for DMs. You can find me at my website, kaylamcguire.com. This is a website I have for founders who are building and scaling businesses and also speaking and workshop opportunities. And then I also have my Mommers website, which is out there live. It's not fully launched yet, but Mommers, MOMMERZ. Again, the nickname my daughter gave me when she started talking. So I thought that was just perfect for like shifting identities and women in transformation. Now I've got a new name, right? We get new names when we become moms. Yep. So yes, you can find me at mommers.com. KaylaMcGuire.com or on LinkedIn.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Kayla. And I will link to all of those websites, socials, in the description as well. And if you're a new mom and you're also looking for some more resources on how to plan your return to work after maternity leave, I'll put a link to my reentry blueprint system for moms and some of my resources. And thank you so much for joining us today, Kayla. It's been an absolute pleasure having you.
Thank you, Alexa. I appreciate it.
And we will see everyone in the next episode. Thanks.